Hello, this Aero Dodger. I have a Model 60 new feed throat to install for a friend of mine. He sent me two actions that are older. Feed throat is, recognize this is a Marlin 60 action assembly here. And the feed throat is this piece right here. And it has an ejector wire right here. And I have other videos that show how to assemble and disassemble this. And this is a feed ramp here. So over the last 50-something years, Marlin's redesigned the feed throat and the ejector and the lift ramp many times. So these days with the older Marlins, feed throat replacement is a common occurrence. So on the older ones, the ejector used to be a little ledge right there, which breaks or wears, and this is all like zinc casting. So they improved that later with they put a wire in there too that laid here, but it was like problem with this feed throat is it was two-piece and it was held together by a little peened over rivet there, and as the feed throat wore it spread apart like this, or the rivet spread apart. You can see how it spreads apart like that. It causes misfeeds. So that's a good reason to replace that. Well, so the old ones, they had this ejector nub that wore out, and the 70s they had this riveted assembly that falls apart kind of. And now they've got, and now when I say now, this has been since probably 1983, early 80s. They got a really nice one-piece feed throat, and the side is redesigned for a last shot hold open lever, which these other older ones did not have. So it's an all-around really nice one-piece design. You can see how the lifter is shaped a little different. I mean, if you see parts on eBay or something, you can easily identify the newer lifter by the bobtail here. It doesn't have a, you see the obvious difference there. So this shape goes with the new lifter, and there's, like I say, there's probably been half a dozen design revisions throughout the years for these. So now one of the problems here is the new feed throat only fits the newer style bolt. Now this is the front view of the bolt, and you see how this corner is square on the newer style, with newer meaning since 83. Here's an older style, it's got a bevel on both sides. So if you get a replacement feed throat, I'll show you the shape here. The new feed throat has a square corner and a tapered corner, which fits the new breech bolt. So when you try to put this in the old breech bolt, Marlin will tell you it's not possible. But the reason for this video is I'll show you how to make that fit. I'm going to taper this corner and make it fit nicely in there. And we'll do that right now. Alright, so the purpose of this again is to show how a new feed throat that only has, it's got one bevel and a square corner, we're going to make that fit into an old breech bolt which has two tapered corners. So Marlin will tell you that this won't fit when you go to buy it, but we make it fit. So I'll show you how to take that bevel off. This is the way I do it. I got a radial arm saw, accessory shaft, and a drum sander. You've got an adjustable angle vise, and I'm going to measure this bevel roughly. It doesn't have to be exact. Looks like it's about 150 thousandths, so we're going to shoot for that real easy. So it doesn't have to be precise, but this is a little more precise than trying to do it by hand with a file. And filing is just, it's not for me because I tend to not get things straight. So this is the way I'm going to do this. So we got clearance right now. You got to feed it under very carefully. And let's just try a few strokes on the camera and see what happens here. There it is. That was pretty darn close. 150, 150, 150. See how it fits in the feed throat. Nice. Nice. So this is, I'm going to polish this on my Scotch-Brite wheel, and it'll look pretty nice. So you see my other videos on how to take the actions apart, and look up tips and tricks for the Model 60 action assembly. Well, there's how I bevel the feed throat replacement. Okay, so we made the bevel fit the breech bolt, and now I almost forgot, is the side plate. The newer side plates have 2 holes for the 2 nubs for the new feed throat, but the old side plate, it only has 1 hole. So the other one's up there. So I think in most cases one has to remove this nub. And again, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. You hacksaw it, you can put it in a vise and come down with an end mill. Since I got this set up, I'm just going to grind it with my drum sander on my radial arm saw. So, and I have one I just finished in the vise here. But I'll show you real quick the technique. And what I do is I just grind it down, and then I just kiss that surface right there, and then I know I'm flush. So how that works is put get it in there. So the technique here is, feed it in this way, so it, if you try to come in this way, it'll grab the part and throw it. You don't want to do that. So you just with the radial arm saw, you can feed it down just a few thousandths at a time. Just take your time, and that's how I like to do it. So it's ready to put in the action assembly, and try her out. So this is Aero Dodger, and there's how you bevel for to match the old breech bolt, and cut off the nub to match the old side plate. And that saves, Marlin will try to sell you a newer breech bolt, but this will save you, I don't know, $20 or so. So enjoy. It's Aero Dodger. So long.